Hi guys, my name's C.L. Creech. I'm the author, creator, and publisher of a book called One Last Quest, which I'm reading for you all through the month of June. Today we're back with chapter 14, which is called Two on a Raft. Let's jump straight into it. It was a beautiful mid-morning on the lake. The wind was blowing silently and small ripples bounced across the water. The sun was high in the sky, creating a warm but not too hot day. Birds flew all through the clouds, creating a peaceful silhouette in the sky. Jackie and Michelle sat on opposite ends of the inflated raft, both holding a fishing rod with their lines in the water. Neither was having much luck this morning. They could see fish all around them, but none seemed to be interested in biting. There was an eerie quiet between the two of them. Maybe it was because they were concentrating on fishing. Maybe it was because the events of the morning were still fresh in their mind. Maybe it was because it had been a long time since the two of them had been alone together. "So, we gotta find a place to go skinny dipping or what?" Jackie said bluntly to break the tension. This caught Michelle off guard. Even though it shouldn't surprise her, she didn't know how to respond. That's okay," Michelle said with a very awkward laugh. Jackie didn't know what else to say. She felt like they needed to talk. She just brought up the first thing that came to her mind. "Oh, so you just skinny dip with Kelly then, huh?" Jackie said with a sarcastic tone while wagging her head. Michelle suddenly couldn't tell if Jackie was joking around or not. Michelle always thought Jackie was more of a pervert than Danny, but she was just more open about it. "It's not that, it's just that," Michelle tried to say, very flustered. Jackie could feel that she was getting under Michelle's skin, so she decided to de-escalate the situation. "Calm down," Jackie exclaimed with a laugh. "I'm just messing with you." Both shared an awkward laugh for a moment before returning to their silence. Of everyone in the group, Michelle had probably spent the least amount of time with Jackie. Jackie was always loud and over the top, which made for a great player. But this also scared Michelle a bit. I know what you're going through," Jackie said abruptly, breaking the silence again. "What do you mean?" Michelle asked, having no idea what Jackie was talking about. Jackie knew this weekend's quest was to help Michelle, and she felt the best way to do that was to relate to her. They didn't have a lot in common, so this wouldn't be easy. She reached for the one common area she felt they shared. "Being rejected, I know how it feels," Jackie said softly. "But how?" Michelle began to ask. Jackie took a moment to reflect on her own life before continuing. "I grew up a tomboy," Jackie continued. "I never played with dolls or played house like I was supposed to. I was always outside playing sports with the guys. Well, until I met you guys, that is." "That doesn't sound too bad," Michelle said with a slight smile. Michelle could tell where Jackie was trying to go with this. Their stories weren't too different. Jackie was a girl who always felt like a guy, but still preferred to live as a girl. Michelle always wanted to try to be the boy she was supposed to be, but in her heart, she knew she was a girl. It took her a long time to start living it as one, though. It felt a little weird not being able to play with the other girls," Jackie said as she watched her line move in the water. "But overall, if nothing else, I had you guys. You guys always made me feel welcome. I could be myself with you guys. Then, well, I became a cop." This confused Michelle. Becoming a police officer was something Jackie always wanted to do. How did it stop her from being herself? What did becoming a cop have to do with anything? Michelle asked genuinely. Jackie took a deep breath before responding. "I'm good at what I do," Jackie said, reeling in her line, having just missed a fish. "And people generally don't like police officers. I don't think I really talk to anyone outside of the department." Michelle thought Jackie had a ton of friends. With her over-the-top personality, Michelle thought it was easy for Jackie to get along with others. "But why?" Michelle asked. "Look," Jackie responded, "we all do things we don't want to get caught doing. Some of us use drugs, not mentioning any names here." Michelle caught the obvious reference to Danny and Jackie's statement. "I get it," Michelle responded. Jackie let out a small laugh before continuing. Some of us illegally download books from the internet, Jackie continued. Michelle had never heard of anything like that before, but she was sure there were people like that out there. Now, who would do something like that? Michelle asked. I mean, you could buy digital books really cheap, or better yet, buy them in paperback or get an autographed copy. This helps support small-time writers and encourages them to produce quality content. Is that a shameless plug for something? Jackie asked. Author's note. Yes, this was a shameless plug for the book you're currently reading. If you enjoy my work, be sure to leave a positive review and buy copies for all of your friends. The digital editions are a great read for anyone, and the paperbacks make great stocking stuffers. Now back to our story. Nope, just making conversation, Michelle said with a grin. Jackie smiled back at Michelle. The point I'm trying to make, Jackie continued, is that nobody trusts the police. They always think we're trying to arrest them over every little thing. Aren't you? Michelle asked with genuine curiosity. Uh, One second, guys. Just having to kill an alarm really quick. I'm so sorry. Uh, Jackie always felt the police officers were misunderstood. I think this is where I'm at, right? Okay. Sorry, guys. This happens sometimes. Jackie always felt the police officers were misunderstood. Sure, there were some bad apples who liked to bully anyone they came across, but the vast majority were good, hardworking people who were just trying to make the world a better place. Not really, Jackie responded. She cast her line again. I mean, sure, if I'm selling heroin in front of the school, or if they're selling heroin in front of the school, or they pull a gun on their neighbor, I'm going to bust their head and throw them in the slammer. But seriously, what do I care if you forgot to use your turn signal last week? I see where you're coming from, Michelle said, and seeing Jackie and police officers in general in a whole new light. Michelle never really thought about the stigma behind being a police officer before. She never realized how lonely it must be to have everyone being paranoid around you and trying to be on their best behavior. She realized that most non-police officers who hung out with Jackie must try to put on some kind of act. That had to be really lonely for her, never really getting to be herself or getting to know someone's true self. The point is, Jackie said as she watched her line intently, sometimes no matter what you do or who you are, people will only see what's on the outside. Like how they only see my badge and gun or well, Jackie made a vague motion with her hands toward Michelle's body, specifically her chest. This caught Michelle off guard a bit. Yeah, I get it. My feminine qualities, Michelle said, trying to break up the awkwardness. Exactly, Jackie exclaimed. At the end of the day, it's what's on the outside that counts. The people who really care about you will see that, just like the group sees past my badge. I know you guys will always really love me. Michelle just stared off in the distance, thinking about what Jackie was saying. So maybe my family doesn't really love me because they only see what's on the outside? Jackie scooted close to Michelle, putting her arm around her. This caused the boat to shake a bit, which startled Michelle, but she appreciated what Jackie was trying to do. Depends on who you consider family, Jackie continued. Look at us. Danny saw what was going on, what you were going through, and the next day, for the first time in nearly a decade, we're all together to remind you of how much we care about you. We all had a lot going on in our lives. Michelle thought about the group. Michelle thought about all the group had to give up to spend the weekend with her. Jackie had to take off work. Rick had to find someone to take care of his wife and kids' busy schedules. Kelly had to find someone to care for her animals. And then there was Danny. Y'all had to give up something to be here with me. Well, everyone except for Danny, Michelle said with a laugh. Yeah, except for Danny, Jackie said, laughing. But I'm sure he had some kind of video game or something to play or television show to watch. Some princesses to save, or some aliens to shoot, or some show to catch up on. Anyway, the point is, why do you think we all put our personal lives aside at the last minute to come together to do this? Michelle stared deep into Jackie's eyes as if to realize that maybe she was kind of special, at least in their eyes. You guys put everything aside for me, Michelle asked with a tear in her eye. Jackie pulled Michelle close. Yes, for you, Jackie said with enthusiasm. We're the Adventurers of Greythorne. We spent years questing together and having fun. Jackie and Michelle both thought back to all of those years sitting around the table, rolling dice and having fun. And eating lots of pizza, Michelle said, but Michelle added with a smile. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're the ones that kept Mario's in business, Jackie said with a smile of her own. Michelle thought back to all the times they ordered from that local pizza place. It was only a few blocks from Michelle's parents' house, so it was the most convenient place to order from. Their pizza was awful, Michelle said, but they always gave us great deals. Both shared a laugh once again, thinking about all of the coupons Mario's would give them. The pizza wasn't too bad when they took into consideration how little they paid for it. Anyway, Jackie said, getting back to the subject at hand, your brother and mom may not see you for who you really are, but the four of us always will. We see your creative personality and your kind heart and your great ass. That was the Jackie Michelle always knew. She may be sincere in what she was saying, but she still had to add her personal touch to it. Hey, Michelle exclaimed, pulling back from Jackie. I get what you mean, though. And thank you. You have no idea how much it means to me to see that you guys see all that in me. Well, except for the ass part. Well, Jackie said with a huge grin, you do have a great ass. Jackie scooted back to her side of the canoe and once again started to reel in her line. There was an awkward silence as Michelle tried to forget Jackie was sitting there thinking about her ass. After a couple of minutes, Jackie broke the silence. Danny told me you do drag queen shows now, Jackie said casually. Yeah, I do 2 or 3 a month, Michelle responded. Jackie stayed too busy to go to many shows. She always wanted to see a drag queen show, and what better time to go than when Michelle was performing? How about this? Jackie asked. After this trip's over, I'll make a trip down to see you. I'll come to your club, have a drink, and maybe watch you perform. Excuse me. Michelle never had someone from her old life see her on stage. It was kind of a scary thought, but it really made her feel good to know someone would want to watch. I like that, Michelle said, trying not to blush. I think you'd have fun. Club's a really great place, and I think you'd fit right in. The club Michelle worked at attracted all kinds of people. Even though it was considered a gay bar, people from all around came to see her shows. It was normal to see gay people, straight people, business people, people wearing leather outfits, and so much more. She always said it was a great spot for anyone who just wanted to escape their life, have a drink, and enjoy a show. And afterwards, we could go back to your place. I could peel that skirt and those lacy panties off you, and we could have some real fun, Jackie said excitedly with a wink. There's the Jackie I've always known, Michelle exclaimed. Michelle let out an awkward laugh. You can't blame a girl for trying, Jackie said with a smile. Well, I guess I can't, Michelle said with a sigh. Jackie began to reel in her line. She just missed another fish. Jackie cast her line back out before looking at Michelle and asking, So, do I have a shot or what? Michelle could never tell if Jackie was being serious or joking. Nobody had really shown attraction to Michelle since she started her transition, and Jackie's comments really made her feel good about herself. Whether she would ever do anything with Jackie, she didn't know. Michelle thought Jackie was attractive, but Jackie was also a natural flirt who hit on everyone. Michelle knew she definitely wanted to keep Jackie in her life, but she would have to put some serious thought uh, into it before considering anything more. Jackie and Michelle would spend the rest of their time on the canoe talking about the old times and trying to catch fish. Even if they didn't catch any fish, Michelle knew that she reeled in something more important. A strong bond that she would keep for the rest of her life. Her life. Wow, I just noticed I repeated a line there. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you for overlooking my horrible reading and my, sorry, the chapter just made me tear up a little bit. And I really have to go back and edit this for future releases. I hope you guys are overlooking my horrible editing, things like that. And just, I hope you're really enjoying the story. This is a story I'm very passionate about. I put a lot of myself in the story, and I hope you guys are feeling it as much as I am. Tomorrow night, same time, we'll be back with chapter 15, and we'll keep the story going. See you guys tomorrow.